Good day, this is Ticker Tape Digest with your mid-session report for Thursday, January 30. The Dow Industrial is rebounding today up 145 points, a gain 0.93%, doing very well. For the bulls is the NASDAQ, which is up 80 points, and the gain 1.99%. The gain in the NASDAQ equal to about 400 Dow points, so a big snapback there. And then you can see advances leading declines by almost 5 to 1. Here's a look now at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the blue chips, and you can see it stands right now at 15,889. Now notice the Dow was in an uptrend, cut below the 50-day moving average line, now starting to solidify on this recent support area, which had broken through back in November. So pretty good technical action. Notice it held at that point back in December, so a chance for a kind of a bounce back rally in here. Right now the CCI for the Dow is still bearish at a minus 103.71, so I would still rate the Dow, the blue chips, as bearish on a daily basis. Here's a NASDAQ composite average standing right now at 4,132. And notice the NASDAQ pulled back, but now it's turned up. And look at that CCI momentum indicator. It's now flipped to the upside, minus 59.89. I would rate that as bullish, and so it looks like the NASDAQ in here has made a turn. The pattern of the market as measured by the NASDAQ gives the look of an uptrend and now the beginning of a consolidation period. So rate the NASDAQ on a daily basis as bullish. Here's our breakout list so far today, and we have 12 issues. 3 of them leaders. Topping our list is Under Armour Inc., and they make the sport clothes, UA. We featured them just a few days ago, and you can see today it breaks out beautifully, up 22 points to 104.14. Their earnings were good, 59 cents versus 47. Also breaking out, Facebook, FB, up 8.43, 61.96, a big move there. And look at the earnings, nice, 20 cents versus 3, so that stock coming back nicely. Spectrum Brands breaks out, SPB, it's up 6.73, 75.23. The earnings were up and they increased their dividend. Other breakouts, Hanes Brands Inc. make the underwear and clothes. HBI gaining 6.93.72, and look at that volume there, double normal, and we're about halfway through the session. The earnings top the consensus estimates. Signet Jewelers, SIG, shines. It's up 56 cents, 80.11. And then our other breakouts, which we'll just skim through, Concur Technology, CNQR, up 17.42, 126.28. They raised their outlook for their operations. Interactive Intelligence, IN up 9.99, 78.68, earning 17 cents versus 11, and the volume is running at 3 times normal. Pretty good action. And then you can see our other breakouts, Athenia Health, Pitney Bowes, which had slightly better earnings, and then the rest of our breakout issues, which we'll post on our website. Here's a look at Under Armour's chart, and you can see the basing pattern in here. Actually set up a base beginning back in October, had a little breakout but didn't go any place, so I actually set up what we call a base and then another base just on top of that. Today's breakout just awesome. Big volume, earnings were strong, and the big move with a gap, and so very extended. This is kind of what we call a blow off the base, and so you have to be very careful in here. Sometimes these stocks can give you what they want in just a short period of time. That looks like the case with Under Armour. Now, on these kind of situations in here, I think the best choice, if you do want to go in now, is just to scale in, because on these blow-off moves like this, the stock may consolidate around that trading range and then try to move for another leg up. And that's what you'd be looking for. Under Armour, earnings for 2014 should rise 24%. They're looking for a good first quarter with net to jump 77%, but that's usually a soft quarter for them, that first quarter. So looking for 12 cents versus 7. So Under Armour in here looking good. We were able to get in there on the accumulation that we had report. That would have been really nice. Here's a look at Facebook, FB, and of course this was a very controversial IPO when it came out, but the stock now is back in the ball game in a sense. You can see it had a breakout through 55.01, and then it just kind of stalled a bit and formed a new base. Now, and this new base that it was setting up was a flat base, and notice it had drifted to the lower part of this base, which is barely holding on to the 50-day moving average line, and the volume was starting to pick up on the downside a bit, but boom, out it comes with a big gap move to the upside. So a very impressive move with Facebook. And of course, people know this company if they're on the internet, because you can set up a page there with some of your personal information and connect with friends and so forth. They get their money, of course, via advertising. So a pretty good move for Facebook in here to clear this resistance area. This stock generally sells for a very high PE ratio, but the earnings are going to be pretty strong. For the year ending in 2014 December, Street looking for 88 cents versus 60, and that would be a 46% surge in net. Going out to fiscal year 2015 ending in December, net should be up 40%. So pretty good numbers. First quarter net should be up 69%. So very good earnings comparisons, and this stock sells with a PE ratio of about 75, which is kind of rich, giving the about say 45% earnings growth rate. But this is a very high-flying type of issue which people think has good potential. Again, a gap move today, and if you want to go in, best choice just to scale in. Be very careful, and that stock may need time to rest up. I think chances for a push to about 70 to 72 if it works right. And if you do go in, you can put a stop in there around 57. That's giving it plenty of room considering where it's at right now. Here's Spectrum Brands. SPB is the symbol. And on this issue, you can see a gap move to the upside also, and a widening of the spread. So we've had three breakouts of leading issues showing really powerful moves. The AD line there at the bottom of the chart had been working its way lower, so this is really a big surprise to see the stock pop like this, considering the tape action. You can see over the past 5 sessions there were 2 days and there were volume picked up, so it really shook out, I think, people who were holding the issue. The company's based in Madison, Wisconsin, and the company makes various types of batteries. They make herbicides, insecticides, and also specialty pet supplies, so a pretty diversified company. Earnings for the year ending in September of 2014 should rise 40%, so some good numbers coming. Earnings for the fiscal second quarter ending in March should be up 71%. The Street's looking for 75 cents versus 44 cents a year ago. And then the next quarter net should be up 40%. So this stock looks really very good with the fundamentals. Again, very extended to the upside with that big move. And if you want to go in, just scale in, put a stop in there around 71. If it works, I think you could see a push up into about the 84 area. Here's Hanes Brands. HBI is the symbol. You can see a gap move to the upside too. We're getting a lot of these because of the earnings that are coming through, and stocks are responding one way or another to them, in this case bullish. Notice that Hanes Brand was in a basing pattern and actually began to break below the basing pattern and looked like it was going south, but now had a big move yesterday, a nice move yesterday, and then a big move today. So on doing very well, and I think the TTD momentum indicator at the top of the chart is very bullish, and that's a good omen too. Based in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Of course, they make t-shirts and underwear and things like that. Earnings for the year 2014 ending in December should be up 14%. Earnings for the first quarter should be up 15%. So very modest, solid, steady earnings growth. Again, if you want to go in, you just want to scale in, put a stop in there tight around 70. I think if it works, you could see a gradual push to about 78 to 80, but I think you got to be very patient with the issue. Here's Signet Jewelers, SIG, the symbol, and you can see a stock just edging out of its base, not like the others that we've seen, and so just kind of squeaks out. Notice the stock's in a basing pattern, did have a breakout in early January and got crushed. You can see it was up around 80 and fell off about 10 points, so that was very nasty. It's come all the way back, now a bit extended near term, so I think you really need to be very careful with Signet. Of course, this company operates jewelry stores and other types of businesses dealing with precious instruments like metals and things like that. Earnings for the year ending in January of 2014 coming up should be up 4%, so very modest growth. Going out to 2015 ending in January, Street looks for a 15% rise in earnings. Quarter ending in January, which would be their fiscal fourth quarter, earnings should be up only 1%. I'd be very careful with this breakout. The quarterly earnings growth isn't that powerful and that strong, and the stock is extended. Here's a look at Interactive Intelligence. ININ is the symbol, and on this stock you can see a gap move to the upside again, big volume. This is kind of the action that we're seeing here off of these earnings. This stock's AD line at the bottom of the chart, you can see, had worked lower through to December and has kind of come up a little bit, but still the AD line looks very weak in here too. This company's based in Indianapolis, Indiana, and the company deploys what they call a cloud-based and also various types of communications platforms, so pretty much into the telecom area and servicing for the internet and things like that. Interactive Intelligence earnings for the year 2014 should be down 72%. The Street's looking for 14 cents a share versus 52 a year ago. And then if you go out to 2015, expect a recovery with net at 49 cents versus the anticipated 14. So looks like a down year, and the quarter ending in March, which is their fiscal first quarter, looking for a loss of 3 cents versus a profit of 7. So a very surprising situation. And in the next quarter, 1 cent versus 8. So I would be careful with this one. The stock's very extended. The earnings don't look all that good. Moving over to the bear side of the market, and we have four issues. Allegiant Travel ALGT down 11.94, 87.66. Earnings good, 94 cents versus 76 cents. What's the problem? As that the pilots are complaining that the company's safety situation is not that good, and they've had other technical problems that the pilots are complaining about, and that really put a thumb down on Allegiant Travel. So this stock, I think, was a very interesting short play. Notice that volume running about 3 times normal. Also breaking down, Citrix Systems at CTXS down 4.98, 52.62. They lowered their earnings outlook. Murphy Oil, MUR, dropped 195, 58.52, although earnings were up. And finally, Popular Inc., BPOP, down 64 cents, 26.60. I think bears have opportunities here to be very selective, but the market is kind of like in a whipsaw action. And so that's a report for today, and then we'll be back online again tomorrow.